In this video, we're going to look at how we can use integration to find the area under a curve. So we're going to jump straight to the answers. So it says, find the area between the curve y is equal to x squared minus 4, the y-axis and the x-axis. So a good thing to do here would be to do a little sketch. So to find out where it crosses the x and the y-axis, we're going to put x equal to 0 and see what your y values are. I'm going to put y equal to 0 and see what your x values are. So we're going to see, say put x equal to 0, and then you're going to have y is equal to 0 squared minus 4. So y is equal to minus 4. So that gives you a point, 0 minus 4. And we're also going to put y equal to 0. That means 0 is equal to x squared minus 4. So this is a quadratic, and you should recognize this is the difference of two squares. So it factorizes to be x minus 2 upon x plus 4. So if x minus 2 is equal to 0, that means x minus 2 is equal to 0. That means x is equal to 2. Or if x plus 2 is equal to 0, that means x is equal to minus 2. So you've got another 2 points, 2, 0, and minus 2, 2, 0, and minus 2, 0. So you can do a very good sketch here of your curve. First thing we knew, it was a quadratic curve. So it was a U-shaped curve, positive quadratic curve, a U-shaped curve. You now know it crosses at minus 2 and at plus 2. And you also know it crosses the axis here at minus 4. Now this bit, finding where it crosses the y-axis isn't really necessary, but it just gives you a wee bit more confidence in your curve. Okay, so you've got a good sketch of your curve, and you want to find out the area between the curve, the x-axis and the y-axis and the x-axis. So we're looking for this wee area in here. So I'm going to label this capital A in here. And this is the wee area that we're looking for. That doesn't look much like a capital A there, but we've got a capital A in here. That's the area we're looking for. Okay, now this is the good bit, and this is where the integration comes in. To find your area A, it is going to be the integral between x equals minus 2 and x equals 2 of your curve. So minus 2 and 2 of your curve, which was x squared minus 4 dx. Okay, and I also know here the answer it's going to give me is going to be negative. It should give me a negative answer because my area is below the curve. Now this is a weird thing, but if your area is below the curve, the answer will be negative. If the area is above the curve, the answer will be positive. So you just have to be very careful of that, and we'll see there's slightly more complicated examples as well. So we'll just work with this and see what happens. So just continuing on up at the top here, that's going to be equal to square brackets now. So my area, I'm just still continuing, my area is going to be equal to my area is going to be equal to square brackets because I've integrated, and x squared integrated will give you x cubed over 3. The minus 4 integrated would give you minus 4x, and you put your limits on the right hand side. We're now going to go to 2 square brackets. In the first square bracket, you put in your upper limit, which was 2, so 2 cubed over 3 minus 4 times 2. In your second square bracket, you're going to put your lower limit, which was minus 2 cubed over 3 minus 4 times minus 2. And then sort out those square brackets. So just punch that into your calculator and see what you get. 2 cubed over 3, then minus 4 times 2. That gave me minus 16 over 3. And then minus 2 cubed, then divide by 3, then minus 4 times minus 2 is going to give me positive 16 over 3. And then it's just calculator, minus 16 over 3 minus another 16 over 3 gives you minus 32 over 3, which is the same as minus 10 and 2/3. Okay, the question said find the area. So your area is not going to be, you're not going to have a negative area. So your answer is going to be equal to 10 and 2/3. And it was area, so we're saying units squared, and that's it. Okay, just to run through that very quickly. First thing, find out where it crosses. You can omit this bit really where you find out where it crosses the y-axis, but you have to find out where it crosses the x-axis. Then you do a decent sketch of your graph. So I can see it crosses, it's a U-shaped graph because it was a quadratic, a positive quadratic, and it crosses at -2 and +2. And then these -2 and +2 tell me what my limits are. So I'm integrating between -2 and +2, and what I'm integrating is my curve that gave me in the question. And then you just follow through the same process. If your area is negative, as it should have been in this case, if your answer was negative as it should have been in this case, because it was underneath the graph, just convert that to positive because you want the positive answer, a positive answer, as its area, and area is always positive. Okay, this next example says, find the area bound by the curve y is equal to x squared minus 8x plus 7, and the lines x equals 3 and x equals 5 and the x-axis. So we're going to just do a wee diagram and have a wee look at what we've got. So first thing I'm going to do is just put 0 equal to x squared minus 8x plus 7. So this is me putting my y equal to 0. And then I'm going to factorize this. So if I factorize this, I've omitted a wee bit of working out maybe here. It's going to be x minus 1 upon x minus 7. So that means x minus 1 equals 0, which means x equals 1, which gives me the point 1, 0. Or it means x minus 7 is equal to 0, which means x is equal to 7, which gives me the point 7, 0. So I'll squeeze my sketch in here. There's your sketch. It's a U-shaped graph, and it crosses at 1 and it crosses at 7. I haven't bothered to put in where it crosses the y-axis here. Doesn't matter for this question. Okay, so that's our sketch. The question asked me to find where the area bound by the curve, the lines x equals 3 and the lines x equals 5. Now it hasn't mattered in this question. Really, I could have forgotten. If I had forgotten to do all this or not bothered to do this, it wouldn't have made a difference in this question. But we'll see in the next example why it's important that you do. So here we can mark in what we want. We'll put in a 3 and x equals 3 and x equals 5. So these are going to be vertical lines. And we're looking for this wee area in here. So this is where your A is going in this bit. That's what we're looking for. So if we jump on, your area is the integral between 3 and 5 of x squared minus 8x plus 7. And see what you get. So integrate it. This is now going to be integrated. So I'm going to be using square brackets. My limits are on the right hand side. Inside I'm going to have x cubed over 3. 8x integrated is going to give you 8x squared over 2. Sorry, so it's going to give you 4x squared. And the 7 integrated is going to give you 7x. Okay, square bracket minus another square bracket. That's going to be 5 cubed over 3 minus 4 times 5 squared. I haven't left myself enough room here. Plus 7 times the 5. Over here, you're going to have 3 cubed over 3 minus 4 times 3 squared plus 7 times 3, which is going to be square bracket minus another square bracket. The first square bracket works out to be minus 70 over 3, and the second bracket works out to be minus 6. And again, if I hit that into my calculator, I will get minus 52 over 3. Okay, so it's negative. It's negative because it was underneath the graph, but remember you have to give it the answer. So your answer, area equals, and minus 53 over 3 will be positive, or 52, sorry, over 3 will be 17 1/3, and remember it's units squared as its area. Okay, last example we have, it says find the area between the curve y is equal to 2x cubed minus x squared minus 15x and the negative x-axis. So the first thing we want to do is find out where it crosses the x-axis. So we will just want to put y equal to 0. So y equal to 0, which means 0 is equal to 2x cubed minus x squared minus 15x. We want to factorize this thing then. So the easy way to do it, first of all, you can see x is common, so you can pull an x outside, leaving you 2x squared minus x minus 15 inside. And then we want to factorize this bracket here. So my sum, not so easy here, my sum is minus 1. My product is minus 30. So my two numbers are going to be minus 6 and 5, because minus 6 multiplies with 5 to give you minus 30, minus 6 adds to 5 to give you minus 1. So we can then go ahead and factorize. So inside the bracket, it's now 2x squared minus 6x plus 5x minus 15. And then we'll factorize inside again, factorize the first two terms, pull out a 2x, and leaving you x minus 3. And then for the second two terms, pull out a 5, leaving you x minus 3 again. And then we'll rewrite that whole thing as x upon, common bracket was x minus 3, and the x minus 3 was multiplying 2x, and the x minus 3 was multiplying the 5. So again, put all three of these bits equal to 0. If x equals 0, then that's just x equals 0. If x minus 3 equals 0, that means x is equal to 3. And if 2x plus 5 is equal to 0, that means x is equal to minus 5 over 2, which is minus 2.5. So we can have a good sketch at this thing now. We know it is a positive cubic graph, so it is this sort of shape. And we also know it now crosses at, that's going to be this, the one leftmost one is going to be minus 2.5, and it crosses at 0, so that's going to be your origin and your y-axis, and it crosses at 3. Okay, you don't have to, GCSE Further Maths doesn't go as far as this, but say the question said, find the total area bounded by the curve and the x-axis, then you would be looking at this point, this area, and this area. Now you've got to do them separately, as this one will be positive and this one will be negative, but we don't have to worry about this because it says in this question, find the area bounded by the curve and the negative x-axis, so it's out this way we're looking for. So in this case, we're just looking for this as your area. So your area is going to be equal to the integral between minus 2.5 and 0, because that's where it cuts, minus 2.5 and 0. And we're integrating 2x cubed minus x squared minus 15x, and we're integrating with respect to x. So we're going to go square brackets now because we're integrating 2x cubed. Integrate 2x cubed, you're going to have 2x to the power 4 divided by 4, which is just going to be x to the power 4 divided by 2. Integrate the x squared, you're going to get x to the power 3 over 3. And integrate the 15x, you're going to get 15x squared over 2. And then you've got your 0 and your minus 2.5. Okay, we'll continue on up here still. We're still working through this. Your area is equal to the square bracket, then minus another square bracket. So I've run out of space, so I'm having to go use two lines here. My first bracket, I should have done this in the same line. First bracket is going to be very easy. Put 0 into this thing. You're going to have 0 to the power 4, 0 to the cubed, and 0 squared. It's going to be 0. So this is actually a very easy bracket. That one just works out to be 0. Put your minus 2.5 into it. So I'm going to pause the video and rewrite this, make it a wee bit easier for me to write. Okay, I've just changed that a wee bit so I can squeeze in. I have 0 once my first bracket, and then I'm going to have minus 2.5, and that's the power 4 all over 2. And it's going to be minus 2.5, and that's going to be cubed, and that's all over 3. And then it's going to be minus 15 times minus 2.5 squared all over 2. So what you've got here is just going to be 0 minus, and if you put this horrible mess into your calculator, what you will get is going to be minus 2125 all over 96 is what I got. And then if you do minus minus, you're going to get positive 2125 all over 96, which is equal to 22 and 13 over 96, and its area, so it's going to be units squared, there we are, and that's it. Okay folks, you're now ready to do your CCA Maths book, and it's exercise 10, 10A and 10B.